Studio 57 Radio, your home for underground hip-hop, rap, and R&B. Studio 57 Radio.
Welcome, rebels! We are back. We are back. We are back to be jackasses. We took a week off, but it's all good. I hope you guys are ready, man. It's plenty to get into. They're trying to formulate some schedules. We got NBA, NFL. There's plenty of NFL talk. We're gonna have some fun. We're gonna get into it. We got the last of the Jordan thing. Whatever you want, we got it. The text line's open for you. The new website's ready. Oh my goodness. And I don't know. I might go on a rant later. Who effing knows? Let's get this thing going without further ado. Let's do the do that we do at DSR2. I am Scrappy, and here is your host, Johnny the Moose.
Hey, we are back here, another edition of DSR2 on actually a pretty decent Wednesday here. A little chilly, but it was nice and sunny here in the D. Again, even though there's no sports officially, we got lots of sports stuff to talk about here. On there, basically, looks like maybe the NBA is going to be ramping up here on there to get the season finished out here. Also, MLB is looking at getting their season going under an abbreviated schedule, and we'll see how they're going to work that out as well. Also, we got, are we going to have an NCAA college football season?
I can't believe they're talking this nonsense.
It looks like no.
I mean, to me, it feels like total, utter nonsense. Why would you even consider that?
Well, in the NFL, yes, we are going to have an NFL season. It'll just be empty stadiums.
Yes.
And the Rams just showed their new uniforms. Oh, God.
They're terrible. They're terrible.
It's like a 4-year-old made them.
I know.
It's like two teams in LA. One really hit it on their new unis, and the other just swift.
Yeah, not so much. Yeah, that's
not so much.
Ugh.
Ugh.
I don't know what else to say.
And is Mike Tyson going to be making a comeback?
Oh, don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years. Anything you want to talk about, text lines available to you, 313-307-5340. Also, our social media, the chat room. We're live on our YouTube channel, our Facebook page. All that stuff is there for you, the chat room, the social media stuff, the text line. That's if you want to go all incognito. If you want to go on the text line, you don't want to get beat up by others in the chat room, because I'm telling you, listener on listener crime is a real thing, and we don't mind so much. So, but the new website's up, studio57radio.com, so you can check us out there. There's going to be some, we'll start trickling in all the other platforms, and we'll be giving you all that information as it goes. And the website is a work in progress, though. Everything you need is up there at the moment. So check that out, and we'll keep things rolling. But yeah, Tyson is a man beast. I just don't know.
He's got old man strength, too.
Oh, dude, gosh. I mean, he looked quick. He looked strong. He looked like he was in shape. Of course, we know his history of like being a mental case seems to have kind of passed him by at this point.
Yes.
So yeah, do some charity stuff, whatever. That it should be interesting. But other than that, I it's cool and all, but damn, but he's a beast, dude. I mean, 53 years old. So I'm 42.
Yeah.
So if I was 53, I can't throw down like that now. Like hell no. It was funny. Me and my girl were watching the Arnold like strongman competition shit, where they like pick up fucking boulders, because you know that's a skill you fucking need.
Hey, you never know.
Yeah, so she goes, in the apocalypse now, we might, there might be, deadlifting.
Can't bring a crane in here to do landscaping here. We'll just bring in the mountain.
Yeah, we'll just bring in, his name's ironically, his name's Half Thor, and he's like twice the size of Thor. He's giant. But anyway, no, we're watching these guys. His last name's Half Thor Bjornsson or Bjorgensen or some shit.
He played in the mountain on Game of Thrones because he just needed the biggest monster out there.
He's a beast. So anyway, my girl's like, Oh, I could do that stuff because they showed some of the women deadlifters, like in a highlight reel and stuff. She's like, see, I could do that deadlift stuff. And then she stands up on the couch, every single joint cracks, and she goes, ah. And I'm like, yeah, sure. You just broke getting up off the couch. Sure. Go ahead and pick that shit up. So we were having fun. I'm like, I couldn't do it. And that's kind of my thing now. If I went out and tried to do a Mike Tyson thing and throw a punch, I'd probably break my hand. Like, if I hit somebody, even with headgear on, I'd probably and gloves, I'd probably break my fucking hand. Jeez. Yeah, I mean, so I wouldn't suggest it, but man, he does. He looks like a beast. What could I say? You gotta love it.
Yeah, he looked like he had the quickness still.
Yeah,
and he's just going, okay, I know it's Spartan, but I'm like, yeah, but he's moving quick. I mean, he's just...
Yeah, I mean, he looked like he was moving fast, and he was, in the pocket, and he was throwing hard and heavy. And I mean, what can you tell from 30 seconds of throwing a couple of punches? But
yeah, he might be gassed after 30 seconds.
Yeah, who knows? That's my whole thing. Can he go out there and can he put on an entertaining exhibition for like 3 or 4 rounds or something like that?
You know what? It's still going to be better than Pacquiao Mayweather.
Right. Exactly my point. Like
a couple of 53-year-olds, they're still going to throw more punches than Mayweather did.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's too funny. So speaking of punches being thrown, and we'll get into the whole schedule and all this stuff because we talked about this a couple of weeks ago, Moose. I really think that MMA and pro wrestling is going to be the one that actually paves the road for other sports, and Dana White did that with his first pay-per-view.
Yeah.
And damn, these guys. Gaethje beat the dog shit out of Ferguson.
Oh, yeah.
And nobody saw that coming.
No. And then Gaethje's trying to congratulate, yeah, good fight. And Ferguson didn't want any part of it, man. Like, they fucking be a pussy then.
Yeah, whatever. Dude, you got your face caved in. You got like 4 parts of your skull that need to be rebuilt. You're going to be like the fucking bionic man. When you come back. Yeah, whatever. Your cheekbone's on the ground. Why don't you pick that up? Jesus Christ. He got the shit beat out of him. Fucking smashed his orbital bone, and I mean, just beat the fucking tar out of that guy.
He's like, I was still standing, dude. You were.
It's still standing. What the hell does that mean? It's like the garden. You put that stake in the ground, the plant's it's still standing. He's got a stake on it, holding the motherfucker up. I mean, geez, you were just like lucky. The gravity.
The body's saying I'm out, and the brain's saying I'm out, and the body goes, no, we can go.
Yeah,
we're good.
Exactly.
Fuck that.
I've cut a chicken off. I've cut a head off a chicken before. I've seen what happens. That shit still goes for a little bit.
Cut a head off a damn snapping turtle, and the damn thing still is.
Yeah, I'm telling you, they'll show up at your door the next day, pissed off.
But yeah, I mean, it's just amazing on that. So
it's but yeah, I mean, so how far? What he can do? How far could he go with that? I don't know, but man, definitely nice to see him. At least, if nothing else, getting his workout on, right?
Oh yeah.
I mean, he looks good. So
he looked ripped. Even through his shirt and going, damn.
Yeah. So. That's what you want to see. You need to be in shape in your later years, even more so because it's harder to stay in shape and keep moving and take care of all those joints and things that just bother you, ache, so like maybe this is good for him. So yeah, good for him, man. As far as I'm concerned.
I mean, even if it's an exhibition, they do it like a pay-per-view.
Yeah, do an exhibition for charity. If he can go 3 or 4 rounds with Holyfield
if they do like
or
a
somebody.
5-7 rounder exhibition.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be anything crazy.
You know how many people, again,
people will be all over it.
Oh, yeah.
You'd sell the shit out of it, especially now.
There's nothing else going on.
Yeah, if you do something in the fairly near future, I think it would be huge. I think people are just starving for anything, and I don't think they're in a big hurry to go anywhere and get in big groups. I think people are still, and rightfully so, should be reluctant. So I don't even think, even if you were to open it up to a half, I don't think you're going to have people running out to be in this situation. But as far as being able to put it on television, get sponsorship, do pay-per-view, anything like that, whatever you want to do, that's a moneymaker to me. There's not a whole heck of a lot of stuff out there. The UFC fight did record numbers for ESPN Plus because of that same exact thing. Because when is UFC been the record pay-per-view buy? I mean, they do well, but it's usually there's so many other things that do better. Boxing or
Oh, yeah.
wrestling typically that do way more. So to have UFC, do that well. Not that they broke any real records, just some ESPN Plus records, but still, to be able to put those huge numbers, it was like a 17 share or some dumb shit. It was super high. Yeah, I mean, if you were to do that, I think you would. I absolutely think people would go ape shit for it. You seen how crazy people are going just for the Jordan story shit? Like real to see Tyson come back and throw some fucking haymakers.
Yeah, not just basically a fluff piece on Jordan on there. I mean,
Right.
we look on there and it's like, okay, I'm looking all forward to go watching. All right, what are they going to get into about the retirement? And they kind of just glossed over it for like 3 minutes. I'm like, bullshit.
Yeah.
I want to see. I want the real 30 for 30 on that damn thing.
Yeah, right. Well, you knew. See, this is the whole deal with that, and I'm going to tell you the skinny on this and why this is all.
Well, yeah, because he has final say on everything. It's his production company.
Well, he had final say from the NBA on all the video rights for his likeness. So the NBA couldn't release any of that stuff until he gave the green light. So it wasn't even about that. It was about, the NBA was not let that likeness. He wasn't getting out until he okayed it.
Right.
And of course, he's only going to okay it through his production company. I mean, duh. And that only makes sense. But I think when you start having all these conversations about who the GOAT is and legacies and greatness and all that stuff, and I think a guy just, he's like, wait a minute, y'all forgot about somebody. Because all the talk has been basically Kobe, LeBron for the last few years.
Decade.
You know what I'm saying? So nobody's, and then people are getting away from the Jordan GOAT conversation and so far away from it. It's like, wait a minute. Like LeBron to me is not even in the conversation because I got other guys that I go to after Jordan before I get to LeBron.
Yes.
So
Yeah, I mean, it's the whole thing with the...
So when it comes to that GOAT scenario, but to me, I feel like it's a timing thing. It's an ego thing. There's a whole lot that goes into why Jordan released that when he did. And yeah, he had complete say on what was going to come out through the NBA period. Yeah, of course he was going to put it through his own production company. But yeah, pretty... I kind of figured that's exactly what this would be. It was cool to see some of the stuff, and I love how the Pistons are still in his head fucking 30 years later.
Oh, I love that.
I love that. So some of that stuff,
and they're not unapologetic either. They're
yeah,
they're like, all right, yeah, good.
I'm glad. I've been getting free rent for decades up in that fucking shit.
We're in your dome, buddy.
Yeah, it's like so.
You don't like it? Tough.
Yeah. So I do like that. That is as great as he is. He's still got that gets it. But that's that to me that even shows why he's so great because that's 30 years old and the dude still sticks in his craw.
Oh, yeah.
And he got the GOAT. He made it to the GOAT. He won all those championships and blah 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 and yada yada yada. And that shit is still in his fucking head.
Because he didn't win those and he thought he should have won beat us the second time.
Right.
And he didn't.
Right. So it's one of those things where it's like
he's not satisfied.
Yeah, but that's why he's so great because that kind of drive to have that this late and after all this is gone, that just shows all the drive that he's that makes him as good as he was. So, but yeah, pretty silly, but not a bad piece. I think you could have probably done it in less episodes.
Yeah.
If you're gonna leave that shit, if you're gonna gloss over so much stuff,
right? I mean,
you could probably condense that down a little bit,
right?
But it was good.
We're gonna have to wait another 20 years to get the real story about the retirement. And,
well, yeah. And
we all know.
Yeah, it's got. Well, he's not going to talk about that stuff, and
we're gonna have to wait till he passes away. Unfortunately,
yeah, somebody's going to have to spill the beans. That it ain't going to be him.
Somebody's got his beans spilled, but that's just sitting in there, all taped and in a vault somewhere, waiting.
Yeah, maybe that's one of those things. You can play this when I'm gone.
David Stern's already got it recorded.
Yeah.
Here's the real story.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, he was gambling.
Yeah.
Yeah, we knew about it.
All right.
Yeah,
Oh, man.
his dad was it was a mob hit.
Yeah, that would have been crazy stuff, man. He went to play baseball because of this.
Here's the real story.
Oh man, that would have been nuts, dude.
But that's
That's like that. That's how like that Dark Side of the Ring shit that they do for the wrestling.
Oh,
now. That would be what that was. I'd like to see him do the Dark Side of the, field or some shit
Oh well, yeah,
with
there's
football
all
or
sorts
something
of
because
well, football. There's much.
so many characters in pro sports. But if you think about like the 70s and 80s football players
yeah.
and some of the crazy shit that they were able to
Well,
get
you got
away
the
with.
crazy stuff. I mean, the drugs and everything else, and the steroids when it first came about. Lyle Zato, again, he got so jacked up. He was, and again, him getting brain cancer because he was taking the pituitary gland extract from cadavers
That's so crazy.
just to get just so massive.
Right.
And yeah, lo and behold, dude, there's got to be negative side effects.
Yeah, this can't
when
be
you're
all
playing
good
with
idea.
I mean, this is something out of Frankenstein.
Yeah, right. Exactly. It's like you're doing this mad scientist shit to
Yes, and that's what ended up killing him was because he got brain cancer. And that.
Jeez.
But yeah, I mean, the whole steroids. I mean, on there, but Mike Webster, who's basically a 250-pound center, he had to compete against 300, just started doing the juice massively. Just to get so
Yeah,
strong enough
yeah.
so he can handle it. Oh, we're going to start testing it while I'm retiring.
Yeah, right. Well, and we'll start testing it. Well, they'll always start testing for something that's already kind of antiquated and they've moved on already. The pharmacists are always well ahead of the tests, and so. But that's only like part of it, right? Because then you're talking about the chronic pain issues and the other drugs and opiates and all the shit that they're taking just to get by that turns into self-medicating and all the crazy stories that go along with that and being on the road and being an athlete and the crazy time where you could kind of get away with shit, right? There was no social media, nobody had you didn't have cameras in everybody's pocket, and so yeah, there's some pretty wild stuff there. So that's what I like about that particular Dark Side of the Ring series. But if you did something like that with football or basketball or even baseball, I mean, baseball's history is crazy notorious if you really think about it.
Oh, yeah.
You can go back 100 years, 120 years, and it's just crazy, man. So, yeah, I would love to see something that's like a true kind of dirt sheet kind of expose on some of that stuff. Now they do podcasts and stuff like that, the Black Sox incident and the Balco thing and But to be able to do something like that, I like it when they kind of let the dirt fly, so to speak.
Yes.
Not don't temper it. I get not being gratuitous with it, but don't temper it. So, but yeah, pretty good series. But like I said, they could have probably did it in a couple less episodes. I've probably been all right with it.
I think that could have been done in probably 6 episodes.
Yeah, right. And I agree. There's no need to take it that far, but whatever.
There's nothing else on, so yeah, we'll
take it. It was content, you know what I mean? So it was one of those things. But and I hinted about it earlier. Speaking of content, they had the fights, the UFC fights, the pay-per-view, and I watched part of the pay-per-view, of course. But even the freebies, the prelims on TV were really good fights, man. These cats, it's funny because everybody's like, people are like, oh, what is sports going to look like with no fans in the crowd? And I'm thinking, well, for the most part, it's not a look thing as much as, I mean, you'll get over the look, right? They'll take different camera angles, and you won't see as much of where the crowd would be, and things like that if they do empty stadium stuff. So it's the sound.
Right.
And that was the craziest thing because these cats, you can hear everything. You can hear the entire corner. Like everything they're saying, the whole conversation is clear as a bell. Like dude, these cats were fighting, and he was having conversations with his corner back and forth, like talking back and forth throughout the fight. You can hear it clear as a bell, and it's like, and so that was probably what was the biggest difference, right? They darkened out where the crowd would be, and yeah, you don't hear them cheer and all that other stuff, but it was still I mean, it didn't affect them guys. Them guys were working, and them girls, because there's a couple of women's matches on there, and they were very good too. So high quality work there by them guys, and they put on a good show. But with all successes, there comes something. So what's going to become of this one? Because this is the guinea pig. Like, did this work? They already have an issue. D'Souza tested positive for COVID-19. And so he was already at the hotel. He already met with Dana White before he got tested. So, like, what kind of risk of spread do we have here? And if they end up with multiple fighters testing positive because of this post-fight, what kind of backlash does that cause?
Right.
And what kind of ripple effect is that throughout sports? So it's one of those things where it's like, it's all risk, all reward, right? It's like either we do this and we show that we can do it and people have faith and let us continue to go forward and other sports start to do their thing, which is what it looks like is happening right now, because everybody kind of, like the UFC, you cannot do anything. If you fight on a UFC fight or you work for the company, you sign a contract where you can't disparage the company.
Right.
So you can't say shit. So if they're not doing what they're supposed to do, you already signed a contract that says you can't snitch, basically. You signed it. It's in your contract. So you can't say anything. So they kind of hide behind that cloak and dagger shit and don't really address issues that, are of utmost importance with this whole social distancing day and age that we're in when you're dealing with these sports. So it seemed like they were kind of following shit haphazardly, and to me, if you can't do it 100%, then what the hell is the point of doing it half-assed? Like perfect example. They have the press conferences all the time, right, over the COVID shit?
Right.
And you'll see them all wear masks. Then they'll walk up to the microphone, take their masks off, speak into the microphone. Then when they walk away, they put their mask on. Then the next guy comes up to the same fucking microphone, takes his mask off, talks into the microphone, the same one that last guy was just talking into, and then puts the mask on. And then you have 6 fucking people go back and forth and do that. What the fuck's the point at that point? You're sharing the same mic.
Right.
With no face guard on when you're at the fucking place where of contagia. If you were social distancing in the wide open area, Moose, we've done the test. We're plenty far apart.
Yeah.
We're like 6-7 feet apart. So, and we have our own mics and our own muff things, and it's all our own shit. There's nobody else's shit, and so we're fine. We don't need to do the mask thing. But if someone else were to come up here and use my fucking mic, they better have a goddamn mask on when they talk, or they can't get behind the motherfucker.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing. Can't get behind your mic.
No, I don't want you by mine, and I'm not going to go by yours.
Right. It's just that simple. So to me, it's funny how it becomes selective, and we only kind of do parts of it. So I want to know, how this is going to play out, with them kind of only doing some of it. Because let's be real, we're learning. So they're going to be trying to, have less people and do all this testing and try this and try that until they have mass testings for the entire country. How do you justify sending 200,000 tests just for the NFL?
Right.
Because that's roughly what it would take if you want to test them twice a week, which is like one of the proposed, and that's only testing them twice a week. Like the risk of exposure if you're not quarantined twice a week isn't going to be enough if you're not quarantined because of your risk of exposure. It's just, at least it seems that way. So I don't know. I don't know how this is going to pan out. So this could blow up or this could work out great, right? We go 2 weeks from now. There's nobody else test positive. D'Souza was asymptomatic, so he tested positive. He's like, oh, I'm sick. Shit, I didn't even know. He felt fine.
Right.
So if these other cats come through and nobody gets ill, then fine. But if they end up with 2, 3, 4 fighters that get sick, that's going to be a problem. And that's going to set this whole thing back.
Yeah, that's going to be the one on there.
So that, I guess that brings us to some of the stuff that they're doing with these leagues trying to get ready. Now and the NFL put a schedule out.
Right. And they also came and said, if college doesn't have a season, don't worry, we'll move games to Saturday.
Oh, yeah, sure they would. Yeah, why wouldn't they?
Yeah.
And college is trying to put games, a half-ass season together, but how do you tell free labor to go out there and make me money at the risk of your health?
Right.
Any more than they already do.
And the only way they can actually have a season is if the actual school, the kids come back on campus. There's no way.
There's
But
again, I can't believe all these crazy proposals I'm hearing about being able to get a college football season going this year. You're delusional. I'm sorry. Anybody that thinks that there's going to be a college football season this year, to me, it's delusional. And if you do it, you're fucking crazy. You're fucking crazy.
Yeah, the only conference right now that says on there that is like the SEC, and they're saying, yeah, we're the kids are coming back to school, and we're going. And of course, it's on there, but it's like, I'm not going to no stadium.
Right.
And again, college sports in general is you get your money from college football and college basketball on there.
Yeah, you get it from the gates.
You look at there,
season
and again,
tickets and,
the SEC is most of those schools that got stadiums anywhere from 50 to 100,000 people.
Right.
And again, if you're Bama or whatever, you're going to get 100,000. I'm not going to college football. I'm not going to a sporting event right now without a vaccine.
No, right. Well, even if, let's say they let you have 20,000 people in a 100,000 person stadium, that is not going to justify them operating.
No.
You know what I'm saying? So,
I mean, California, again, at least I think what on there is like
LA County?
LA County kids, Cal State, no, sorry. They're going to just go for, be online.
Well, yeah. Well, and LA County's like, no, we're done until like August or whatever.
Right.
They're like, no, we're not doing this.
Because, again, people are stupid.
Yeah, they're not sitting still. And that's ultimately what's causing the problem is that if we can't mitigate the spread, then, we just sit longer and longer and longer. Right. So, like, all the, people that are uptight, we're all sick. And, maybe I can get into a rant about it later, but, I mean, we're all sick. We're all stuck in this together. And that's why we do this and have some fun here to get you kind of away from all that. But there's just no way with the situation that it is now that you can safely go out there and put kids in stadiums.
Well, here's an interesting on there because on there was over in Russia, a soccer league.
Okay,
they're actually offering is for $20, you can get a cardboard cutout likeness of yourself put in the stands.
Oh, that's silly.
With basically, you can chime in on an app on your phone,
right?
If you want to boo, and on there, they'll pump in ambient noise corresponding with all the way that people are responding on the app on their phone.
That's kind of cool. You could yay and boo depending.
Yay and boo.
You could.
So you look fan on there, and there's gonna be a freaking
virtual
crowd of you standing, going woo.
You know what they can do?
They
right?
can do that for the NFL, and we can be the Lions. We got to be.
Yeah. Well, that's what's going to happen. It's going to be everybody's going to turn on their thing with their middle fingers up. But what you do is they could do that stuff virtually, where they just superimpose a bunch of digital folks on the background. That's not an issue.
Well,
because they do it now with hockey, right?
Right.
When you look on the glass, they'll have billboards on the glass when you're watching the game. That shit's not there.
No.
And so they do all that shit now. So how hard is it to put a faux fucking crowd back there?
Because they're doing it in Japan, to Taiwan and Korea, where they're just basically looking like paper, but they're doing like sex robots and who knows what's in the stands and that. And
dude, I would do like a Where's Waldo type fucking thing, where there'd always be an Easter egg in the crowd some motherfucking where, and it would just be whoever, One day it'd be like Stan Lee would be in the crowd, so and everybody, that would be the thing. Every time you went to watch an NHL game, you'd want to see who the fuck is in the crowd,
right?
That would be my gimmick if I was like a team or whatever the case. I mean, like I said, if you guys are worried about the look and the sound and the feel of the game, they can superimpose a crowd in the background. They can pump in audio, and home crowd's gonna cheer.
There
You know
are
what I mean?
Football stadiums that are domed or that are pumped in now.
Yeah, oh yeah. But I'm just saying, you can do all that shit where it's not a big deal. What they do now when they pump in audio is they pump in the real audio. They just magnify it and pump it in secondary. This would have to be like from sample sounds of crowds, and it'd be super simple. It'd have an algorithm where the home team did something positive, the crowd would cheer, and when they shit the bed, they'd go, oh, you know what I mean?
If it's Lions fans, Patricia sucks.
Yeah, it would just be the same algorithm they use for like Madden football and shit. It'd be the same thing. You could essentially do that. They could just play on a field, and then the rest of the outside of the lines would just be the Madden football game, essentially. At least the crowd. So I mean, that's doable. I don't think they're going to do any of that stuff. They're just going to darken the crowd, give it a different look, do different angles, and just run it like that. But to me, collegiate sports is not a thing. I don't know how you could do it. The fact that they're even talking about it right now is odd. It's crazy to me. The NBA is still trying to jam in the end of their season. I don't know what the fuck they're thinking.
They still want to get down there. And
I just don't understand it. Like, why even bother? Just call it a wash this year and start fresh next year when you have some protocol.
Right. Get
some shit in place. Let some other sports, do their thing. I thought the NBA would be the first to get back, but if they're not back by now, if you're not going to start doing shit like tomorrow, what are you doing?
Certain states are shut. You can't have any games in California because or LA. The Clippers and the Lakers can't play.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So there's nothing you can do. There's not. So you in the league right now. And I think it is in both NFL and NBA. I'm not 100% sure with the current players. With the current bargaining, collectively, they all have to have their stadiums open before they can even practice.
Right.
So until every state, they can't even practice. So what are you talking about? And so, I don't trying to figure out the logistics of moving stuff around. They're a long ways away yet. They're still a long ways away. So for the NBA to think that they're going to finish their season as far away as they are from getting this thing figured out is just preposterous. They're better off just waiting, letting the NFL take the lead on this because they've had more time because they were off. They've been off. So they've got more time to kind of make adjustment on the fly and kind of fix and let some of these other cats let the MMAs, the pro wrestlings, the football, maybe baseball kind of do their thing, and then the NBA can come in and be like, oh yeah, this is going to be easy. This is how we're going to do it because they've seen all the things that work and don't work, and then maybe the NBA can actually have as close to a normal season as possible next year. But trying to shoehorn something in here now is only affecting next year's ability to be as normal as it can be.
Right.
Because, so I don't know.
What are you going to do, too, is what are you going to do with, getting these players in that? All right, say they're locked in one city net. Can you honestly think that these cats are going to just stay quarantined in their rooms and that after a game?
Well, that's the whole thing, dude. They're going to have to be locked into a hotel. What else are you going to do? And then they're going to have to be babysat?
Of course, because somebody's going to try to sneak somebody in.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's
they're all 20-something-year-old dudes.
Right. Why? Yeah. Once the PlayStation shit wears out, we got to get some ladies in here.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So, you could be good for a minute, but it's not going to last forever.
Come on. This is the NBA.
Yeah. Jeez Louise, man. And then I don't know, but that's the whole thing. And this is what the league's got to contend with: is if one cat gets sick, it ain't gonna be one cat.
No,
it's it's gonna be 5, 6, and then what if you got cat?
This is why you shut the league down to begin with,
right?
Because it was one cat,
one guy,
and everything he knows is it's spread.
Yeah. So I just don't know what they can do. I'm not sure how they're gonna handle it, but they'll figure things out. But I don't think they need to rush it. I guess is my point. They can take their time. They can let some of these other teams take the lead on this one. But
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't
I
know.
don't think this is gonna. I mean, the NHL's pretty much said is we're done.
right.
We'll think about starting up the league again next year in
Yeah.
December or January.
Yeah, I was gonna say I haven't heard any a peep out of the.
No, they all they said is
NHL.
basically is for us Wing fans, it works out as worst case scenario is we end up with the number 2 pick overall
Right. Well, yeah, because of where we landed at the
on
end.
there. So
yeah,
how they're
yeah.
going to redo the draft and that? So
Right.
the draft lottery, it's not. They're not going to go. They said there should be one winner, and that's it.
Yeah.
And everybody else basically. So if the Wings don't win first pick overall, worst case scenario is we're going to be second.
There it
So-
is. There it is. Well, it's just one of those things too. Like I said, it's not like what's the payoff? What's the payoff trying to shoehorn this thing and try to make something happen that
Yeah.
isn't going to happen? I just don't get the payoff. So for me, I just don't even do it. Just let it go. Like I said, let some of these other leagues that have had some time to get ready before their season starts, let them kind of take the lead, and then go from there. I mean, the fact that the NFL just got it was just dumb luck for them the way it kind of fell that they were able to get their season finished up. And we're going to find out that they probably shouldn't have finished up their season. We may find that out later. You know, when all this history is written on this, we might find out because I'm already reading that the antibodies, because they're
You're
doing.
not guaranteed that you're not immune for it a second time.
Well, no, I'm not even going there. You know, they're doing the antibody testing now.
Right.
And so they're finding people have had the antibodies in their system as far back as January.
right.
So when you start getting those trace testings coming back, if that is true, that that people were walking around here asymptomatic back in January, that was long before the NFL season was over, and we were packing stadiums full of people. So, you know, that's going to be one of those things that only history will tell us down the road. But I really hope we can get back to semi-normal. And like I said, the NBA can the NHL can stay, those two leagues can stand down and then come back and just have a better year. And it's just, you know, you've been taken down by strikes, you've been taken down by shit before. I mean, let's not risk people's health and all this and the spread. I mean, it's not just, it's one of those things, once again, we had this conversation multiple weeks in a row probably. It's not about it's about the people around you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
So, like, they can't, say, oh, well, we'll just quarantine them and we'll do this and we'll do that. Okay, so let's say you quarantine everybody successfully, but somehow, some way, someone that was asymptomatic and they had a false negative or something and they got through because they have 15-minute tests now. And we had the guy, because I know a guy that works for a company that makes them fuckers and runs the tests for them fuckers. So, and he said, dude, there's a lot of false negatives. Like, I don't know what to say. It's not a very accurate test.
Right.
And we had him in the chat room on this very show.
Yeah, we did a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. So, and that's legit. That's not some left or right wing bullshit. That's not fake news. That's none of that shit. That isn't speculation or rumor and innuendo. It's none of that shit. This is a guy who fucking makes them tests and run them tests and knows about them tests. Period.
Right.
I know him personally. I know it's factual. So that is a legit source. And so yeah, I think you have too much at risk here to do anything too crazy. What if one or two guys get sick? Well, let's say you quarantine everybody and then they all get sick, or a bunch of people get sick within the quarantine. Then what? Then they all got to what? Then the league shuts the fuck down.
Right.
The league shuts down, and then they all sit in the hospital and go through their quarantine until it's gone and they're over it and all that before they can even go back to their families, and you can kiss the fucking season goodbye.
Right.
It doesn't matter if it's on one team because if it happens on one team, that's it.
Right.
It's
because
over.
You can't, because if it's one team, it's the whole league.
Yeah, it's over. So, like, to me, I just don't. You've got to take as all the precautions we can and be as patient about this as we can, and like I said, I think NFL MMA and pro wrestling seems to be willing to kind of be the guinea pigs, and the NFL has got a good timing thing going on. So let's let them kind of tweak this thing, because I'm telling you, you know, whether you believe whatever numbers you believe, or believe this or that or the other thing, when you talk to a health professional, they would grade us a D in how we've handled this thing. And so to think that we have handled this with a D grade, and then we're just going to fucking go back and go to sports as normal, and we're going to put these guys at risk, and we're going to do it, to me, it's just asinine. Like, I don't see how that's even a thing. I don't know why we're having these conversations when we haven't even figured out the testing scenario. We haven't even figured out how we can get kids back in school. We haven't even figured out how we can get certain portions of the economy open throughout this country, but yet we're talking about putting athletes at risk for TV contracts.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know, man. Happen. So I just don't know how you're going to do it. And the fact that even if you can get these athletes, and the athletes they'll do it. They want to play. They want to do it. Right. They don't care. And so the athletes will do it. So you may be able to find a way, and you may be able to get out there and do this thing. But professionals are one thing, collegiate athletes, a whole nother story.
I mean, yeah, you look at because I don't believe there's gonna be a college on there, and if it is, it's gonna be just a conference schedule.
Yeah, I mean, what are you gonna play? 8 or 9 conference games, or whatever the case may be?
I don't think it's gonna happen in football this year.
And then to do a 9-game conference, it's just none of it makes any fucking sense to me, man.
No, it doesn't. And again, of course, Notre Dame's going, "Oh, what about us? Because we're not in a conference." Well, you know what? Sucks to be you.
Yeah, whatever. Get lost.
You should have joined the conference.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you wanted it all your way. Now, guess what? Karma.
Well, yeah, it's like you don't like my car until it's the only one that can get you to where you're going. Fucking get out of my ride. You made fun of my fucking whip. Now, all of a sudden, it's the only ride that gets you where you gotta go.
Yeah, you don't like my hoopty?
Yeah,
kiss my ass.
Get the fuck out. Yeah, you can walk, homie.
Bitch.
Yeah.
I know. And
making fun of my 76 Cordoba.
Rich Corinthian leather.
Yeah.
But yeah, baseball's talking about like getting together in July, 80-game schedule. Problem is there now is the owners are coming to the players saying, we want you to redo the contract to them because they agreed to the prorated salary.
Right.
Oh, now we want to just we'll split the profit sharing 50-50. And the player's like, no. We want our money.
Yeah.
We agreed to the proration. Well, we're happy with that.
Yeah.
Pay me.
Yeah, exactly. You thought you were getting over on us. This happened, and we're in the driver's seat.
Pay me.
And
the baseball union is the one union of all sports.
It's the only one.
It's the only one.
Yeah, it's the only one that does anything.
Got any balls, and they're basically saying, no, we'll sit out.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the only one. Well, it's just amazing.
And how you going to do about baseball, too? It's like, you're going to go with the expanded roster, the 40-man roster? Because that's the only way you can do it. Because you don't have a farm league.
No.
You don't have a farm system. So guys get hurt. Guys will get hurt.
Yeah.
How are you going to replace these players?
Right.
The only way to do it is an expanded roster, a 40-man roster. Play it simple.
Yeah. And but then once again, it's going to be super hard to mitigate the spread of something when you just keep adding to the fucking roster. So it's like, to me, there's so many layers to this. It's crazy.
I'm sorry, but it's not going to happen.
Yeah. I agree. There's just there's too many different things that could go wrong, and they just don't have themselves in a position to do anything. So I don't know. Once again, once you can get mass testing, to me, I don't know. And this is a moral thing, and I guess we kind of...
How can you justify testing athletes on a daily basis every day for them versus the general populace cannot get tested?
Let's say in 3 months, when they start NFL season, let's say we can supply every American with a test.
Right.
Let's say we've got those kind of numbers in manufacturing, and we've got these swabs out. Because we got the test, it's just getting the fucking swabs out for the tests. So let's say in the next 3 months, we ramp up production and we can provide all that. Let's just say that. I don't know that we can, but I don't know we can't either.
Right.
So let's just say we can. So let's say all the tests are available for anybody who wants one at any given time, and we have plenty to test the fucking athletes. How are we, since that hasn't even happened yet, we're already having a conversation assuming that's going to happen, basically, or that could happen, then we still don't have a vaccine for the fucking shit.
No.
So you get it, and it's, there's a wide range of shit that could happen from nothing to fucking death.
Right.
Like, and everything in between. So, like, it's not like you're going to get it and you're just going to get... It's not like the chicken pox. You're going to have to use calamine lotion for 2 weeks and stay away from your friends.
Taking some oatmeal bath.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like this isn't... That's not the case. Like, you don't know what it's going to do to you if you catch it. So, you could be somebody that gets it and doesn't feel a thing and is fine. And you could be somebody that gets it and fucking dies 3 days later.
Right.
There's that kind of range of side effects here. And so, to me, until there's a vaccine, how, in good conscience, and we already said that these guys want to play and they'll play.
Every player out there says, we want to play. I mean,
but how could you, in good conscience, tell cats to go out there and play when we don't even have a vaccine and this shit could kill you?
Right.
So, and then you're going to expect anybody to come to a stadium? And there'll be dummies that'll go.
Oh yeah.
And then they'll come. Those same dummies will go to all these places and spread this shit around and make us all idiots. So, like, even if you can come up with stuff, you've got to have a vaccine, and then you can't just have enough vaccine for the athletes. You have to be able to provide for the entire country before you can do that.
Right.
And then you can start doing stuff. And then even if you have it or you don't have it or you get a vaccine or we don't have a vaccine, we still have no education on whether any of this stuff will prevent you from getting it again.
Right.
And so, to me, what are we fucking talking about? Like, I'm really not sure what the fuck we're talking about here. Like, is this all just talk so that we can have the conversation? About spitballing? Is that what we're doing here? We're just spitballing? Or are you like seriously thinking you're going to pull the trigger on some of this shit? Because as much as everybody wants to get back to work and do all that stuff, if we all go back to work tomorrow, this thing blows up in 2 weeks, we're going to be fucking right back to square one.
Right. Oh yeah, we'll be back to where everything's locked down for months then.
Right. And it'll be even longer.
It won't be like, oh, we're going to do it we're locked down for 2 weeks. No, we're going to be locked down for 4 to 6 months.
Right. And then what do you do?
Right.
Companies won't survive that.
No.
There's so many companies that won't survive that, and then the companies that survive, that rely on other companies, won't survive that. You know what I mean? The domino effect. It's too long. Or people think this is bad. Stand the fuck down. So to me, I don't know if athletes... or if the sports is a microcosm of the same thing, right? How many people have you seen, and maybe you're one of them, I'm one of them, you're frustrated when you see these cats going out and doing shit. It's like, dude, like, we're trying to mitigate this. Stand down for now so we don't have to sit down longer. And so, are they doing that to us with the same kind of thing? Like, should we not stand down longer and just wait longer as opposed to bringing something back that doesn't get finished any fucking way and turns out to be an even bigger debacle and jeopardizes the next season?
Yes, and I would say is for, like, again, like, especially when you got like the NBA and the NHL and baseball, it's like, listen, you're just gonna have to chalk it up. These are gonna be lost years.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah.
Not happen. Sorry. The NFL, we'll see what. And again, you'll have a better guide of what's going on come August. You'll have a bigger handle on everything.
Well, and the thing is too, it's so different, right? Because these sports leagues all have multi-million-dollar television contracts,
right?
And those TV contracts, they're going to want to fulfill that at some point. So it's not like you're not going to have a TV contract when this comes back to normal.
Right.
These other companies that are out here and these other businesses, they don't have those guaranteed contracts.
No.
So when something, the media is not going anywhere. TV isn't going anywhere. So your TV contracts will fucking be there. But all these businesses that rely on other businesses and whatever and services, they're going to go bye-bye.
Right.
And they're never going to come back. And so why are we risking that happening just so we can have sports earlier when that could blow up in our fucking face anyway?
Right.
Like I don't understand.
I mean, yeah.
So to me, this gets beyond just sports.
Right. For us here, we got to look at it as like, okay, they're talking about getting the auto industry guys going back to work on Monday.
Right.
I mean, what are you going to do? I mean, again, we need manufacturing on it, but you got to be safe about this. You got to figure out protocols with it on it. The plus side is if you're working in most of your office settings, again, people can work from home.
Yeah.
And people are working from home.
Yeah,
and they find out in certain aspect is wow, we're getting more production out of them working at home than coming in the office. Granted, most people say, "Man, I want to get back to the office because I miss the social aspect."
Right. Yeah. Well,
that's a whole different dynamic with there. But yeah, you rush into this and then it blows up on that. And again, I think it's just a situation where we don't know what it does. It's a whole new thing on it. And again, the experts don't know what it is, and they're learning new things about this virus on a daily basis. Yeah. And again, kids would supposedly they don't get as sick on it, but then there's a whole new onslaught of almost like a different side shoot of this disease now that's affecting kids.
Yeah.
And this is getting to the point where, again, this is going to be serious too. So you got to look at all that. Personally, I'm not going to a sporting event until there's a vaccine. I'm not going to a concert till there's a vaccine.
Yep.
I'm not going to the movies till there's a vaccine. And if I go out to dinner,
I'm going to the drive-in, motherfucker.
I'll go to the drive-in, and I'm bringing my own popcorn. I ain't going.
No.
I'll go to the. I got to use the bathroom, and that's about it. But I ain't going to a concession stand. With that, if I'm going out to eat, it's going to be someplace with an outdoor patio. And sorry, I mean, I don't even know if I'm going to do that.
No, I'll probably just keep the carry-out thing rocking. I don't mind now that the weather's starting to break. I will, I will get the carry-out. We will eat outside.
Yeah,
we'll have some music, and we'll make the best out of it. And I don't care. That stuff doesn't bother me as much. We'll get families
together outside, and we'll do social distance outside.
Right.
Sorry. Again, no hugs, no kisses, no handshakes. Say, listen, hey.
It was the same thing. I was talking to my neighbor.
Stay 6 feet apart, and we can chit-chat.
Yeah. Same thing.
I mean, those aspects. You can get people 6, 8 people around a fire pit. You're just 6 feet. Just going to have to get a bigger fire so you can feel the heat.
Yeah, exactly.
So you can see it from space. But yeah, I mean, sorry.
Yeah.
It's not happening.
Exactly. So
going to the office in it. I mean, we're back to work, but not really. I mean, it's like limited aspect. But again, I'm going to only go a couple days a week, and I'm working from home.
Right.
Got the office set up now at the home, and then I got my everything. I can get a lot done.
Right. Yep.
And again, we're taking the proper precautions, wiping everything down, wearing a mask. Yep. I mean, you got clients coming in there? Guess what? They better wear a mask. If they don't have a mask, we'll supply one for them.
Yep.
And with it, I mean, that's what we're going to do.
Yeah.
Because again, this is something where it's like, sorry, I'm not getting sick over this.
No.
I'm not going to die because you guys are selfish and you can't do it.
Right.
I don't think sports is going to happen this year. I think it maybe at best is you might see something like the season starting up for next year at the end, in December. And that we'll see what's going to happen. But for college football, it ain't happening.
No, I don't.
MLB, I don't think it's going to happen.
No, I agree.
NBA and NHL, they're not. Their seasons are over. Sorry. No champion this year.
It's
no different than a strike or a lockdown.
Right.
It's happened.
Yeah, to me, it just feels that way. I just don't know how you can really do anything like that. Like you said, hopefully they can do something and figure something out to maybe get some fanless football games going in the NFL. But beyond that, I just don't see a whole heck of a lot happening with that. We could take cues from other countries and what they're trying to do and stuff like that. But I mean, the problem is we've handled this worse than other countries. Right. So we've got it worse than other countries.
I mean, South Korea and Taiwan's got baseball going, but no fans. But you know what? They handled it better than us.
Yeah.
They're now basically, they didn't have the keys to it because they did testing and basically tracing and all that.
Right.
And that's what, but they're like, hey, there's no fans. Sorry.
Right. And until we get to
we need to get to that situation.
Right. And we can get there if everybody works together and we keep this thing going. But once again, it goes back to my...
is this testing.
Right. And it goes back to my whole point is that's fine. We can test all we want. That doesn't stop the spread of this shit. It doesn't mitigate the spread.
Right.
So you
We
still
need
have
to
to
know what the
social
numbers-
distance, and
the
if you
num-
don't have a vaccine, what are you doing out here?
We need to know the did do the testing, and the numbers dictate where we go from there.
Right.
If the numbers are flatlining and we're still doing tons of testing and we're getting the proper amount of tests done, then fine, let's start doing this. But if basically we're doing all this testing and the numbers are, I don't care if they're even flatline, and basically
Right.
we hit the arc under,
Right.
they got to hit down and then flatline.
Well, see, the problem is you only could take like an average of the arc because the arc is going to be like up and down, up and
Right.
down, up and down because of the way the testings come in, and then there's no testing on the weekend, so so then it kind of goes up and down. It looks goofy.
got a
So
7-day
you have to
average.
so you have to do that 7-day average and get that thing. But I'm going to tell you something about numbers. It's the same thing, and we see it all the time, guys. If you, especially, I don't want. This is not about politics, but when you go do an election, you see this all the time, where one side or the other looks like they're dominating, and then when all the fucking numbers come in, it's either closer than you thought or it goes the other way.
Right.
So that's what you have to understand about numbers is that we're not really good at collecting numbers. It takes a long time for us to get numbers together and get them accurate and to do all, like, we're not good at that as a society. So do you think people that are, you're expecting people to self-report and do all these little things, dude, those numbers that are put out there, people are so up in arms about the numbers being true or not, they're never going to be true. They're never
No.
going to be right. I'm going to tell you right now, they'll never, ever be accurate. Ever, ever.
No.
We can hope we can get close and that we have like an 86 percentile of people reporting and that they're at least mostly accurate, and hopefully we got some kind of trends there that we can work with, but the numbers will never be real. It'll be about trends,
Right.
and trying to work trends and guess. And it's ugly, and to me, it just feels like, I'm gonna tell you what, just like we were talking about earlier, people are getting mad because they see other people out there moving around more than they think they should, and they feel that that's gonna upset their opportunity to get back out into the mix sooner. And I'll be damned if sports does that to me. I want my sports, and my athletes want to perform, but I'll be damned if I want all that for another setback.
No.
You know what I'm saying? And sports, you're talking about a nationwide setback,
Right.
in my opinion.
Because again,
I'd love to hear yours. 313-307-5340. Text line is available for you. Also, all social media, Studio 57 Radio, except for Twitter, it'd be at Studio 57. Studio57radio.com is up and rocking. You can go ahead and check us out over there as well. We're on the YouTube channel, Facebook page. There is the chat room there and the social media feeds, all that stuff. Get in on it. We'd love to hear from you. All this stuff is crazy. Unnamed texter, I agree with you guys. Getting back to sports too early could be catastrophic. And I mean, it's just one of those things where it could have a negative effect on what you're trying to do. It's like it's like the athlete, you hurt yourself and they tell you it's an 8-month injury and you come back in 5 months and then you fucking hurt yourself again. It's not worth the setback sometimes. So hopefully that's not the case here. So
we got breaking news
Uh-oh.
here.
We don't break news here. We sprain it. Okay.
We sprain it.
Yes.
NCAA is an extended withdrawal date from the NBA draft. So basically, you can. They're going to drag that out as long as possible. So
Yeah.
they're
Well,
getting those kids, underclassmen, to come out and everything with it, so they can basically feel it out a little bit better and see what they're going to go for.
that's going to be an interesting dynamic. I think all that's going to end up going to the wayside too, and this will be a great opportunity to usher that in. And that might be a conversation for another day. But I really think that the G League and all that stuff, and the way of the college basketball, all that stuff's gonna change dramatically, and this is gonna help usher that in. Having just sweeping wide changes of stuff anyway. So I think when college does get back to playing, I think you're gonna see less and less of those one and dones, because the one and doners are just gonna do the G League thing.
Right.
Why do one? And so that's probably another conversation for another day, but I think that's going to be interesting because when you have all this time and you're dealing with these kind of situations, you're trying to work with all that, it may come down to a point where that ushers in some things that you probably were thinking about before But now you really don't have a choice. Maybe you got to do it. It's the same thing, right? Baseball might be forced to be creative with their sport, with their game, when this is all said and done.
Yeah.
Because they lose interest and they lose this and that and the other. Maybe they have to speed up the game. Whatever the case may be, behind all this, it might force their hand into doing something.
Yeah, it may force the National League to go do a damn DH.
Right.
People don't want to see pitchers hit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I really want to see a guy hit 200 at bat there.
Right. But I mean, so that there could be a positive outcome from all this stuff is that you could see things like that, things that change for the positive. But I just think right now it just seems to me super, super crazy to pull the trigger on doing anything right now. And I'm going to tell you why I know it's crazy. And even the cats that are trying to go out there and doing this shit are crazy because Dana White is still talking about Fight Island because he knows damn well that this Florida thing ain't going to last long. I'm no, scientist, but, or whatever them fucking guys are, doctors, but you unload a bunch of people in a climate like Florida or Miami where they have all this stuff where you have this kind of intimate contact and you're opening things back up and everybody kind of floods to that place because nothing else is opening like that.
Yeah,
that to me
talk about on there.
To me, that could be another setback too. So who knows what's going to happen with Florida down the road? I guess they don't mind being the guinea pig, and if you guys are in Florida down there, how do you guys feel about that? Where everybody's going to kind of come to you guys because of it being open. And how many states are opening? Like, there's a couple, I think. But
there are a couple on that.
But, I mean, Florida seems to be the target right now, the landing spot for a lot of these companies to try to do stuff. And how do you guys feel about that? I mean, is that going to be an issue? Even though the crowds aren't necessarily meeting together, you still have all those athletes and all those things and all the people that go into putting that production. They're still coming to these hotels and coming to your area. Is that worth the risk? I don't know.
We'll get into that a little bit. We got still a lot to cover on there. Still lots of stuff to talk about as well. We're going to take a little break here, and because we all got to use the bathroom. So we'll be back here in just a few minutes. We are Studio 57 Radio, DSR2.
You're listening to Studio 57 Radio, your home for underground hip-hop, rap, and R&B. Studio 57 Radio.
Party people, this is the original Doc Ice, and you are definitely listening to Studio 57 Radio. And if Studio 57 Radio isn't on, then your radio ain't really on. Check that.
You're listening to Studio 57 Radio, your home for underground hip-hop, rap, and R&B. Studio 57 Radio.
Hey everybody, Scrappy here to tell you about That Radio Show. Hang with me as I break down the world of entertainment with great guests, celebrity interviews, awesome games with wonderful prizes. Also, we've got the biggest library of underground hip-hop of any station on the net. You mix in a little stand-up comedy and a text line so your voice can be heard, and you got a pretty good little show. But add listener-controlled programming? Yeah, you heard me. Listener-controlled programming, where you, the listener, can decide what makes it on the air. And now you've got the greatest show ever created. So join my show, your show, our show, the people's show, That Radio Show, each and every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, only here on Studio 57 Radio.
Hey everybody, this is your boy Big D, here to tell you about Mark for Life Tattoos. Guys, this place is the cleanest, most laid-back studio in Metro Detroit, and the artists are top-notch. And if you're like me from the D, you need to stop in on Fridays for that D-Day and get your Old English D for only $20. Not interested in tattoos? Mark for Life does body piercings. Mark for Life is located at 22533 Van Dyke in Warren, and the guys are there 7 days a week from noon to 9. So give them a call at 757-2222. That's 586-757-2222. Tell them Studio 57 sent you and get 20% off. So what are you waiting for? Call them now.
Hey everybody, Smokey here to tell you about Allstate. winter fast approaching, the most important thing between you and the road is your tires. So don't put your safety in just anybody's hands. Go to Allstate Tire. With new and quality used tires available, you can trust Allstate Tire for all your tire needs. You can visit them at 14208 9 Mile Road in Warren, or give them a call at 586-779-8759. Allstate Tire, your source for quality new and used tires.
What's happening, everybody? Scrappy here to tell you about Love and Life Club. Love and Life Club is a social networking club that's located at 19960 James Cousins. That's a Lodge service drive between 7 and 8 Mile Road in the D. You need to stop in for $5 Fridays for great music, food, and drinks. I personally recommend the chicken. Love and Life Club is also available for rental for bachelor parties, wedding receptions, or any party for that matter. For more information, log on to www.loveandlifeclub.com. That's loveandlifeclub.com, or call D at 313-999-2824. That's 313-999-2824. That's Love and Life Club. If you're loving life, you need to be in the club.
We are taking over this broadcast for the Ultimate Underground.
Studio 57 Radio Original. You know, when you hear that sound, you're gonna have a good time, because that's the sound of the Ultimate Underground live concert webcast from the Detroit area. We go to the most famous, or should I say, infamous venues in the D, and bring the underground music scene from the streets to your computer like nobody else can. There's only one catch. You never know when and where the Ultimate Underground is going to take over a broadcast. So you need to stay tuned to Studio 57 Radio all day, every day, for clues on when and where the next Ultimate Underground may happen. Now, there's no other station on the net that's going to give you this live webcast of some of the hottest artists in the D. That's the Ultimate Underground live on your home for hip-hop, rock and metal, Studio 57 Radio, baby.
Goodbye.
You get what you want, cause we got what you need. Studio 57, serving streets of the D. Recording, mixing, mastering, or great beats. We do what we do to keep you hot on the streets. You get what you want, cause we got what you need. Studio 57, serving streets of the D. Recording, mixing, mastering, or great beats. We do what we do to keep you hot on the streets. Studio 57 is a 32-track digital recording studio that utilizes Cool Edit, Logic Pro, Shure, AKG, Sennheiser, Yamaha, Korg, Mackie, Boss, Ibanez, Fender, Fruity Loops, and many, many more to make your music pop. Experienced and friendly engineers make Studio 57 feel like you're home away from home. With beat creation, mixing, mastering, digital media conversion, and DJs for any event, Studio 57 Records is your one-stop shop for all your music entertainment needs. We have online bill pay and flexible payment schedules. That makes Studio 57 the place to be. For more information, visit Studio57records.com. That's www.studio57records.com, or call us at 586-420-3390. That's 586-420-3390, or log on to Studio57records.com. And just remember one thing, baby. You get what you want, cause we got what you need. Studio 57, serving streets of the D. Recording, mixing, mastering, or great beats. We do what we do to keep you hot on the streets. You get what you want, cause we got what you need. Studio 57, serving streets of the D. Recording, mixing, mastering, or great beats. We do what we do to keep you hot on the streets.
Party people, this is the original Doc Ice, and you are definitely listening to Studio 57 Radio. And if Studio 57 Radio isn't on, then your radio ain't really on. Check that.
You're listening to Studio 57 Radio, your home for underground hip-hop, rap, and R&B. Studio 57 Radio.
Oh, yeah. How about that? A little bit of HD audio and video. Like, you wanted to see my ugly mug in HD. But we're here. And we've been talking about it. We've been getting after it. A few good texts going on. So we'll get the text line going. We've been talking sports and, how they're going to move forward, trying to get things out there as far as content and how that's going to play out. Plenty more to get into. We'd love to hear from you. Text line 313-307-5340. I'll get that up on the screen for you. Social media is rocking. Studio 57 Radio on YouTube, Facebook, Studio 57 on Twitter. Make sure you get on all of that. We are live across all them platforms and the brand new Studio57Radio.com. Check that on out. And, make sure you come on Sunday and check out the BCU podcast with yours truly. But for now, it's all about sports. And the host of this debacle, the man, the myth, the legend, Johnny the Moose.
Hey, we are back here for the second hour of DSR2 on, again, a pretty damn decent Wednesday here in
Not
May.
bad.
It was sunny. It's almost 60.
Yeah, I cut the grass.
We're going to get a
It
lot of
wasn't
rain
horrible.
out here over the next day and a half or so. But again, weekend's supposed to be wonderful, at least on Saturday. So, looks like we finally got on it again. Last week we went from 80 degrees to frickin' snow.
Oh, it's nuts.
I mean, it's been a crazy spring here, to say the least. I hope everybody's safe and feeling pretty good out there. We're going to get your minds off everything on there, especially the second hour. We're going to have a lot more fun with it on that. Again, sports that are coming back on there, golf.
Oh, yay.
Scottsdale Open this weekend.
Oh, fucking yay.
And NASCAR is actually racing in Darlington now.
Yeah, if they can just keep the microphone off the racist guy, we'll be okay. It'll be fine. Jesus Christ. Whatever. Text line 313.
And then the following week on Memorial Weekend, we've got the foursome with Tiger and Brady versus Phil and Peyton Manning. So,
Well, that's going to be interesting.
and that's going to be raising money, obviously, for
Right.
charity and that. So, that's going to be pretty cool. It's going to be on TNT and TBS there. So, we'll watch. I'll watch it and see what's happened. I like to see Brady beat Manning again in another damn sport.
Yeah, you're right. That's funny. 313-307-5340. What are you guys looking forward to as far as sports goes? What do you think will be the first thing to come out? How do you think they're going to handle all this stuff? We'd love to hear from you in the conversation. Mike checks in because I just want baseball back so bad. I don't even care. And I get you. I think a lot of us are there, Mike. It's just like, I'd take anything. And once again, we're talking about this stuff. Dude, that ultimate tag shit's going to start up here soon, and we're going to be talking about it. Like, that's how bad we're jonesing for sports. So, Mike, Mike, we're with you. We're with you.
I mean, it's in,
I would
it's
take
in,
anything
it's in like
right
a
now.
studio setting. So come on, if you're gonna do that,
Gladiators
I
was
want
shit.
it outdoors on like concrete and guys doing these leaps and twirls on there, not no padded like studio set.
If it is like American Gladiators where they like shoot like tennis balls at them and shit, that'd be that.
No,
I'm
they're just
good.
chasing guys and guys are doing backflips.
No. We need to like.
Speaking of
we need
backflips,
Nerf
did you see
guns
the
and
Johnny
shit.
Manziel backflip?
No.
A dive?
No.
Oh, it was terrible.
Good.
He even made fun. He goes, "Yeah, that about went as good as my NFL career."
Yeah. At least he's got a sense of humor.
Oh, it was like backflip. Smack!
That's funny.
I could have done a better backflip. Especially
Jeez.
at that age, I definitely would have done a
Well,
better
yeah.
backflip than him.
That's funny.
The only thing worse than that backflip is the Rams' new uniform.
Oh my God. Okay. All right. Full disclosure, I'm going to rip into a national guy. Okay. What's his first name? Adam Shine? Is that his first name? He does a show, Time to Shine, on CBS Sports Network. This guy, I'm pretty sure whoever writes for him is a 20-year-old girl. I'm pretty sure. Like an 18-year-old girl. Because his take on the Rams was not on their new jerseys was not anything that a grown man would ever say. He used words like fire and all this other nonsense that the kids would say. And it, quite frankly, is the opposite of that. That is the fucking shittiest fucking group of fucking jerseys. And especially when you're coming from freaking the powder blues and like that. That's one of the
right.
That's one of the most epic jerseys of uniforms ever.
Yes.
And so it's hard to even try to do something.
Oh, they're terrible.
You know what I mean? So like, but the Rams is just. That is
Especially
the opposite
oh my
of
God.
that.
Especially this because when
It's
they
the
wear
opposite of
Oh
that.
yeah. Especially when the Rams wore their throwbacks on there, whether it was the royal blue with the everything, that was really cool because they did have a really nice. But when they wore the white with the blue with the especially with the helmet with the dark blue with the white ram on there, that was pretty damn sweet. I like that looking at. But you look at it and go, what the hell? Especially with the blue jerseys with the gradation of the white, the yellow to white.
Yeah.
What your logo looks like the freaking Chargers logo now on the helmet.
Yeah.
Oh my God, they're terrible.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan, and that's kind of that.
If you again, I would basically go to the NFL and say, we made a mistake. We need to change these back.
Well, I've found, Moose, in my days of designing stuff and doing things creatively, and what I like and what other people like are quite often not the fucking same. So since I think it sucks, it's probably really
No,
cool.
I think that the majority across the board, even Eric Dickerson said, ooh.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious of what fans think of that, like what the Twitter reaction was to that.
It's been pretty harsh.
Pretty negative.
It's been very harsh.
Well, at least I feel like I'm in a group with somebody now because I'm almost always like the one and
that's
only.
one thing we can all agree on, whether what political side the aisle is the Rams new uniform sucks.
Well, not if you're Adam Shine or whatever the hell his name is.
That's great.
He thinks the shit was hot. And he went on and used a bunch of other non-words that,
They're terrible.
middle-aged white guys don't say.
They are terrible. Everything about that is terrible.
Well, and
Especially coming when you see the Chargers with the powder blue, the baby blue.
right.
It's just
Well, that's kind of my point. Is like you kind of were trying to steal that look with the helmet and all this other nonsense. And I just,
but nobody likes the Chargers in LA.
Yeah, right, exactly. And then and so I don't know. And the Chargers, that's an epic jersey. In uniform, the Rams new deal, not so much.
I would have gone to either the 70s Rams with the on there, or just gone back to the 60s with the white and the blue. I mean, come on,
Right? Anything. Gosh.
Jesus. I mean, again, you look at oh God, it's like ugh. And again, it's always the same team that always. It's why do these teams keep changing jerseys? I don't
know.
Again, it just even the Patriots that changed their jerseys. At least they kept kind of the colors all the same in that, and those were all right. I mean, the Buccaneers went back to the early 2000s Buccaneers with the Tony Dungy Buccaneers and that. I understand that because the new ones just sucked. They were too busy.
Yeah, I mean, to me, there's been very few updates and changes to jerseys that have been really good.
Yes.
They have them every once in a while, but typically the classic look, the reason why it sticks around. Are they ever going to change the Green Bay? Dude, no. Never. It's as simple as
Are
simple
the Bears
gets.
ever going to change?
No. Simple as simple
Pittsburgh's
gets.
going to stay the same.
Right. But it all
Dallas
looks good.
will stay the same.
But it looks good. It looks clean. It looks, you know what I mean? Like, so I don't know. I get it. You want to sell jerseys. It's about moving merch. It's not about anything other than that.
If you win, you're going to sell merch.
But I guess that's my point. Like, if you win, it don't fucking matter what your merch is. You'll sell it. It's like when the Red Wings were winning every damn year, you could put that logo on fucking anything and sell it for 20 times what it's worth. Anything. And, it's the same thing with the Yankees. You could put that Yankees logo at one point on anything and upcharge the shit out of it, and it would sell. I mean, so it has really nothing. It didn't matter what you put it on. So that's kind of my point. Is you put out a good product, and it doesn't fucking matter. You could put it on anything. It's like it's like the Patriots logo. You could put that Patriots logo on anything. You won fuck it. You went to 9 championships in 12 years or whatever.
Yeah.
You
Every other year, you went to the Super Bowl.
all right.
You won 6.
All right.
Come on.
So it's one of those things, So those logos, you could put it on anything. It doesn't matter. People will buy it. So Lions, you could put that fucking thing on a Porsche and no one would buy the motherfucker. They'd be like, oh, you need to give me a discount on this car. It's got this fucking ugly ass paint job on it.
Right. And the kicker is like, I really like the throwback jerseys on there because I do like, because the blue's just a little bit darker on there with it. I love that on a little bit. But the Lion logo, Angry Bubbles.
Yes. I mean, it's slightly better than the shitty one from before, but
It's better than shitty Bubbles,
Yeah.
but it's on there. But I would prefer it if they had the prowling lion.
yeah. I would take a front facing lion. I would take that prowling lion from back in the day.
Just use the lion like an angry lion profile head.
Dude,
on
I
there.
would take that fucking lion head you see on every lion tattoo in the history of lion tattoos, like the shoulder piece lion. I would take that over just about any fucking thing. I mean, just to be real.
Make the lion silver and do a blue helmet. There we go.
Yeah, there you go. That'd be interesting.
That's what I would do.
So I was watching this thing, and I was trying to stay in with the chat room, and it just kicked me the fuck out like I was like the redheaded stepchild of the group.
So I think I've already got the over under Vegas wise is Patriots have our under 9 wins this year. I say
really?
that as I would definitely bet under 9
You bet under 9? I haven't seen what they're gonna do. I mean,
because they don't have a quarterback.
I know that's the biggest thing. I just find it hard to. Right now I go along with that, but I mean, I find it hard to believe they're not going to come up with a quarterback before.
I mean, do they sign? Well, again, Dalton's with the backup with the Cowboys, and that's basically they're using that as pressure for Dak to sign his franchise deal and just to come in for a year.
Right.
The Bears are an 8.5 win. They got them as over under is 8.5 wins under. Unless Foles is starting from day one, I don't see the Bears 8.5 with Trubisky.
No.
Chargers 7.5 wins.
Sounds about right. 7.
7.5.
Yeah, I'd give them a 7 wins. That's a tough one to call.
You gonna start Herbert from game one?
I doubt it.
Tyrod Taylor, does he excite me?
No.
But again, the kicker is they've got talent all around that team.
All right.
So I think the Lions are like 6 wins, and I think
that's
about right.
Yeah, that's what they always are. They're never more than 6 wins, and then when they do, that's just
Then it's 7 and 9, 8.
Yeah, it's just like they're so bad. Even when they make the right picks, they're bad. Even when they get the right coaches, they're bad. I mean, how do you get a Super Bowl winning coach in here and then he just turns them into a lunatic? I mean, seriously. Guy never coached again. Like, I'm not even sure he's right in the head anymore. Mooch.
Well, he didn't go to the Super Bowl
But
with the Niners, but no, he left us and went to the damn booth, and he has he doesn't want to go back.
Right. I mean, doesn't even matter when you get good guys there. They never succeed. It's the black hole it's the abyss of football. But yeah, so whatever. We'll see. Once again, to me, all this stuff, I can't even. It's hard to get into these conversations because what are we doing? We're talking about like a hypothetical. It's not like the season's gonna happen.
Right.
It's like this is all hypothetical. I mean, everything we say is contingent on shit we know nothing about. Right. I don't know. I just don't see us. I don't know. It's gonna Moose. The dog days of summer will be even easier to take off this year, Moose.
Oh yeah,
because we won't have shit to talk about.
No.
But we'll be able to do some fucking Notorious POD podcasts.
Yes,
so
we're
guys,
going to be doing lots of those.
Yes.
In the meantime.
So we'll do that this summer, and we've got some episodes on the website studio57radio.com and the Studio 57 Radio YouTube channel. But and we'll have other content to do as well because I just don't. I think at some point they're going to have to. They're going to have to just decide to wait instead of keep doing all this. But we will see. What do we got? Do we got anything entertaining coming up? Like, I know, we talked about it earlier. The pro wrestling stuff will still be kind of going and doing their shows. They're doing all the cinematic style wrestling, so it's a little bit more of a pre-tape scenario. With that being said, does that mean TV shows will be? I think TV will get back before. See, that's what's so funny about this. We're talking about sports and these live events and putting this stuff together, but TV hasn't even started filming and shit yet.
No, they haven't filming TV shows. They're basic. A lot of shows ended their season early, so they got to get back to the studios and that.
Right.
But again, I don't know if that's because you've got movies and TVs that they got to get back on the studios or at least on location,
right,
and start filming.
Right.
I mean, how much content? I mean, for God's sake, CBS went back on Sunday night. Are now showing movies again.
Right. Well, and it's one of those things, and that's what I'm saying. Like, to film something for TV is way easier, right? Because you could say on this day I only need these guys, A, B, C, and D, and on this day I'm going to have these guys, and then we're going to film all this stuff over the course of like a couple of weeks, let's say, and we're all going to stay sequestered, and we're going to do this thing.
Usually on a season, if you're doing the old school on your 22-episode season in there, it was like one episode a week.
Right. Well, you're not going to do that anymore. You can kiss that shit goodbye.
That
model's dead.
Yeah, it's basically now it's the 10 to 15-week seasons now.
Yeah, well, it's not even about that because you can put more episodes out there if you want, but you're not coming in and essentially filming an episode a week. You're going to come in and you're going to lock down for 2 months and you're going to film the whole fucking thing right there.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to film the whole fucking thing in one shot. You're going to have it scheduled out where you have as minimal people on there as possible. So when I get to all this filming, I'm done filming with you for the whole season. You can go ahead and leave, and then we're going to finish filming with the rest of the, and you're going to do it that way. That is something because you can sequester them. You can hold them people in there. You can take all the precautions. Hollywood, you know what I'm saying? Movies, TV studios, that is going to be the first realistic, safe thing to get back to business. And we haven't even heard them peep about that shit, about what they're going to fucking do, because they know that they don't know what's up yet and that they can't really do anything yet. Why are sports who are so contingent on being moving around and all these moving parts and all these different people and all this stuff going on, it's TV tapings on steroids. And so, and then you only can do it in certain, I don't know, man. You only can get together like that in certain areas. So then it forces everybody to congregate. To me, until you start, how do they get it done? Like, the UFC thing could still blow up in their face, but I do like the fact that they've, set a precedent of like, if we take some of these precautions, maybe this will work. So I get somebody's got to be the guinea pig, but I really feel like getting back to TV and getting your newscast back to normal and getting your visual, all that stuff, I think just seems more realistic to happen before sports.
Right.
So why are we talking about sports and this being and that being, but nobody's talking about, Ellen's got to start taping again because they don't necessarily have to have an audience, and then these other
right now she's taping from home.
Yeah, well, right, but these other shows, even like these TV series, now a lot of them are going to be on hiatus, so there's no big hurry to jump on this or whatever. But I don't know. I just feel like that is more of a realistic starting point than getting all these sports up and running. And once again, we talked about it in the first hour, and we'd love to hear from you. 313-307-5340. What is it even going to look like, and is it worth the risk for something that's just not the product that anybody wants really anyway?
We got something else coming on. Basically, as Andres Galarraga appeals to baseball, wants them to change he wants his perfect game 10 years after the fact.
He should get it. I was at the game. It was the very last play. You could just stop it right then and it's over.
Right.
It doesn't hurt anything. There's no reason why it shouldn't have got fixed on the spot that fucking night.
Right.
That
because
night.
even the umpires
Yeah,
James Joyce said,
Yeah, I blew
screwed
it.
up.
Yeah,
I looked at it and I screwed up, and I did equal with.
I was at the game. I was right there staring at the first base. I was right on that fucking line when that shit happened. I was right down the fucking line staring at that motherfucker when it happened. And it took the whole group of drunkards that I was with to hold me back. I was fucking pissed. I was fuming. I was so mad. So, yeah. And then the fact that baseball wouldn't even consider going back and fixing
if it
a
happened
very
today,
easy
it would be
mistake.
basically they would go look at the review and just say, "Oh, he's out." And that's
Right.
that.
Yeah, right.
So I mean, because again, the next batter got out,
Yep.
so there was no he hit a home run and it's mute or whatever.
Right.
No, he got out with it, and again, he basically went and says, "Listen, with it, could it be relitigating? We'll see what happens on there and with it, but again."
They should. I don't
And
think
he
they
says
will. But
basically in the cases there's really no harm changing the call. I mean, there's no fallout because the Tigers won the game.
all right. Yep.
They didn't score. The other team didn't score a run.
Right.
It's just the one guy didn't get a hit
All right.
because he
That's it.
didn't get a hit.
All right.
So that's something where maybe baseball needs to do that and get a little positivity, press on there because they're getting hammered now because again now the owners are basically saying, "Oh, we need to cut costs because we're not making the money." Dude, you went to them and came with the deal.
Right.
Now you got to honor the deal.
Yep.
Baseball's saying, "Hey, we'll take the proration." If they don't play a game, which I still don't think they're going to,
I don't either.
players don't get paid.
Yeah, I just don't know how they play games right now.
Now, plus another side is for football is because if they play in empty stadiums and there's less money coming into the coffers, even though they will make a profit, does the salary cap go up or does it actually go down next year?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how that works, to be honest.
Again,
Yeah.
if you're Mahomes going, crap, I may not get my $40 million a year.
Oh, he'll get his money. I mean, they're going to get back to making profits.
Plus, the downside is if it goes down, then it makes more guys on the cut line. They're basically going to have to get cut or renegotiate deals and
Right.
so forth with it.
Well, my other question's going to be too is you play this season and do whatever. What's that do for the draft next year if there's no college football? So then what are you drafting?
Yeah.
And then
You're going by guys what they did the past year. I mean, the
2 years before, right?
2019,
Yeah,
2020 on there, and they haven't played in 2 years.
Right, and then it's the same thing we talked about with baseball, not being able to have a minor league to go to when guys get hurt or whatever. What happens with football?
Right.
I mean, if these guys get hurt and you go to what? Just some guy you do the
Well, they do
you
that now.
Test,
I mean-
you Testaverde that shit. Well, no, they don't do that now because these guys have places to train.
Right. Well, they don't have. I mean, they can. Yeah.
They have practice squads and they have places to train and you have all this other shit going on. If you're running on only essential personnel,
Right. It
I'm
depends on
going to
the
assume
sta-
the dynamics
and
completely
it all
changed.
depends on what state it can open up in at. I mean,
Right.
again, what are they going to do? Again, if say Michigan or New York or California don't open up, there's not going to be a season.
Well, yeah, that's the whole thing. That's my point from earlier in the conversation is that why it's not going to happen because in the collective bargaining agreement, every stadium has to be able to be open for them to even practice.
Right.
So that's not going to happen. So unless they change all of that and all the players decide that they're fine with it and then they congregate, but from what
Worse is
I'm
like-
hearing, that's not an option.
And also, too, players living at home and everything. How are you going to get some of these younger players basically from staying home and not trying to going on Tinder or whatever?
They're gonna do whatever
getting
they're gonna
hookup?
do. You're not
And
gonna
then
stop
it's-
shit.
You got that whole thing on.
Yeah, you're not stopping.
You're going to have to
shit.
basically make some scenarios too. Is that there's going to be a strong penalty if you're testing positive because you went and got a hookup. Then there better be a strong penalty for you basically screwing that all up
Well, yeah, I mean, ultimately I don't know how they're going to handle
as
that.
the individual player, more so
Right.
as the team.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I don't see. That's why I said that's too muddy a water. Like, how do you figure out all the dynamics of that?
Right.
You know what I mean? And once again, we're talking about all these dynamics of these things that are still, once again, hypothetical. All for the last hour and a half, everything that we've talked about has been all hypothetical. Not one single scenario is known to be something we're going to have to deal with. In fact, the scenario that we may have to deal with could be something that we haven't covered at all in the entire time we've been talking about this shit over 2 months. because it's all like just in the air. We don't know. Nobody knows any of that stuff. So all this stuff could just mean nothing. That's why to me it feels like, it's more about, what are we doing? What are these leagues doing to further the reach of these tests? What are the leagues doing to set standards for how we're going to go forward? These leagues are full of millionaires who should be leading the way for us.
Right.
And that's not what's happening here.
So, if I'm the Yankees, I'm kind of pissed at CC Sabathia. He's retired now. The dude's dropped like 100 pounds because he's locked in the quarantine.
Right, he's just working out at home.
Working out at home, and he's all jacked. I'm like, I'm from the Yankees. What the hell? Dude, we're paying you millions of dollars, and you just can't lay off the freaking Wendy's and the Burger Kings?
Right. But when he can't go out to Wendy's and Burger King, then then there you go.
Your career, you could still be playing if you would have just took care of your body.
Yep. I mean, he's not even nearly as egregious as a lot of these other athletes. So like, I ain't even mad at him. Like, he was still fucking dominant.
He was
big,
very
fat
good
ass.
on there. He was still a dominant pitcher.
Yeah,
but he's just like, dude, if you just taken care of a little bit on your team,
imagine how
you
good
would have
you
got
would've
that 300 wins because you started at 18 years old or 19 years old pitching in the big leagues.
Well, if he took his his physical well-being is that serious, and he was imagine what his potential would have been. I mean, he would have it'd have been something even crazier than what he's pulled off up to, so as a fat ass. So, but yeah, that's it's just one of those things, man. It's frustrating. You'd put in all that effort, but some of these cats with all the talent in the world will just kind of not put the effort in. It's like, man, dude, just lay off the Twinkies, man, and you'd be fucking that much better.
Get a small frosty instead of the large.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Get a single instead of a double. Just little shit.
Lay off the bacon.
All right. Just little stuff, man. Baby steps.
So Vince McMahon's fired his XFL commissioner Oliver Luck. Now Oliver Luck has obviously filed a lawsuit.
Yeah, him and like 400 other people.
Yeah, but
like,
he's seeking $20.3 to almost $24 million.
Right, and he'll get it
with it. And of course, McMahon says I fired him with cause gross neglect of the job once the pandemic began.
Gross neglect. So the pandemic came and he just neglected. He just fucking ran away.
Yeah,
he got in his car and ran for the hills. The fuck out of here with that shit. There are so many, and I mean,
now he's saying he uses his XFL issued iPhone for personal use and all that.
Oh, he's so fucked because he was filtering money through a publicly traded company to pay for his fucking XFL shit. Right. He's not supposed to fucking do that. And guess what? I got another one for you. They're all going to go, the whole fucking family's going to go to jail for insider trading.
Right.
They've been fucking chucking fucking stock left and right. So they're fucking all going to prison for insider trading. I know they call it Camp Cupcake, but Steffi's going to go find out. She's going to stay in Martha's room over there.
The whole family.
The whole fucking family's going.
No, they won't go to prison because then they'll get released because of they're going to Camp Cupcake at COVID-19, so they'll serve at home and
they will
under
get
house arrest.
If this gets summed up before their meal ticket is in prison, then yes, they will get pardoned. But if this doesn't get tied up before their meal ticket goes in prison, then they're going with them. Prison. They're all going together. They can all hang out together. And they can reminisce about shaving each other's heads at WrestleMania. But so yeah, I just
does Triple H say, I'm not going to prison. I'm gonna rat all you out.
Paul, if he has a fucking, the loyalty for what Vince has done for him would be really hard for him to break because Vince has really, really done a lot for Paul and Paul's career. He's really the best thing for the company. So I would hope that he would get out unscathed and be able to pick up the pieces from a company that would leave
basically broken
mean,
apart and just just basically picked up. The pieces would just get picked up by everybody else, like
Yeah.
vultures. Man, would just pick it apart.
Well, what would happen is if Vince McMahon, if WWE exploded and blew up and fell apart, you have essentially 3 companies worth of talent there. So because of all the different brands and the way they do stuff, and right now they're not using, they've did the fire sale and let everybody go because of what's going on, but they're going to bring a lot of those guys back when everything gets back to normal, whatever normal is going to be. So I guess my point would be that guys are going to go to all the other companies that are out there, but you know, Paul is done, you know, him and I should say Triple H because you have Paul Heyman too. So Triple H and Paul Heyman and Bruce Pritchard, those 3 guys get together and you'll have WWE like on steroids because those are the 3 best guys that have really produced anything other than Eric Van Wagenen, who's now, he's not there. He did Lucha Underground for a while. But he's like a TV guy. He did, but that cinematography shit that they're doing now with like the Undertaker shit and all this, that's all Eric Van Wagenen shit. Like he wanted to do a lot of that, and Vince McMahon said, "I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense." Now they have to do it because they got no fucking crowds,
Right.
and it's the best shit they've done in fucking 10 years probably. So EV Dub, you know, could even get in the mix with those guys, and then you'd have a company that would do just fine. So then you would have like whatever, but dude, that's almost, it's kind of scary and kind of weird to say that because it's been around our whole childhood, but that's more of a real possibility than it's ever been. I mean, this thing could blow up. Vince McMahon and the whole fucking family could go to fucking prison.
Right.
Like that's how fucked this is. And that company is fucking gone. And then all your intellect, all that IP is going to go over to fucking these Saudi princes.
Or I mean,
what they haven't sold off because they're piecing shit off now.
right. I mean, all that IP on there, but I mean, the library. Who knows with that? Because you don't know if that.
Well, the library is going to end up going to essentially Disney, but it's going to go through ESPN.
Right.
So they're going to sell that off. They're going to have to do that to pay all the fucking legal fees that are going to come hammering down on them. So yes, they're going to go back to the old pay-per-view model. You won't be able to get the pay-per-views for $10 on the network. You'll have the network. We'll have original programming and we'll have some of the archives. As right now, they're selling a lot of archives over to Impact Wrestling and these other companies that have a lot of those wrestlers over there now and want some of that content because, quite frankly, a lot of their content isn't theirs. It's from TNA and TNA Impact actually owns TNA or bought out TNA.
WCW.
So so there's a lineage there, and they want that stuff. So they're going to sell off some of that, and then everything else is going to get sold off to ESPN, and then the network. Then they're going to go back to the old school pay-per-view model, and then the network's going to tank because of it, and then with all that going on, that thing will spiral and shit right out of the fucking. I mean, the stock will be fucking worth nothing.
Right.
And then that's when everything will start coming out. All the insider trading, all the fucking janky contracts and bullshit stuff that they've done. It's all going to fucking come out, and then that's when it becomes a huge problem. So this
and that'll be like a 4-part miniseries on the Vice Network.
Yeah, exactly. So next year's WrestleMania will be interesting because you could be on the cusp of this company exploding at next year's WrestleMania, and who knows if they can even have that event and how they're going to handle it. So it's going to be interesting over the next 9 months to see what happens with WWE, but that's a whole nother fucking ball of wax. And that's what happens when you think you can continue to do that carny shit when you get in the real world.
Right.
Because you just can't. And so that's kind of what's happening there. And that's why I sound like a dick when I talk to people like that. But it didn't matter if I was in music or what part of entertainment that I was dealing with. Dude, if you do shit fucking carny, it always bites you in the fucking ass. Right. Like, fake it till you fucking make it, motherfucker. Don't do shit like a little fucking sheeny man, janky ass fucking carny fuck. Don't do that shit. It don't make any sense. And so it's worth waiting to put out and do something that isn't shit. And so and it, whether it be a methodology, whether it be like how you do whatever, and so it's better to wait than to put out some janky half-ass bullshit. And so I just think that shit's coming back to bite them. You're better off. They should have never ever made that a publicly traded company. A pro wrestling company, there's no fucking reason for that shit.
No.
And then if you're gonna do it, you did it way too fucking early. You need to prove that this can be an asset for longer than, because you've been doing it for 30 fucking years, but you only had a track record of a few years of being able to turn ratings. So don't act like you were, you know what I'm saying? Like,
they jumped the IPL
way too early. So that's really like, and so all that shit, it's all gonna blow up in his face, dude. It's all, and it sucks if you're a pro wrestling fan, because the last thing you want, it'd be like the NFL going down. Even if you have let's say the AAF does pretty good, let's say it doesn't struggle and it does pretty good and people like it, but then all of a sudden the NFL does a bunch of bad business shit and blows up. I mean, are our AAF fans gonna be happy that the NFL fucking went down?
No.
That'd be fucking insane. That would be insane. And so that's the same thing with this. You know, even if you like, you're not a big WWE fan and you like other companies, the last thing you want to see is the biggest pro wrestling entity go down. So pretty wild, and how it's all tied into the XFL is pretty obvious. And it's a shame too, because the XFL was putting out a pretty good product, and I think had they gotten through a couple of seasons, that they might have started turning a profit and been a viable, second option. But once again, on the flip of a fucking dime, anything could happen. I mean, the AAF went from okay, everything's good, to bam, we're fucking bankrupt. So,
Right.
But nobody saw this shit coming, obviously.
No, I mean, because you look at the XFL and everything with it, and a couple of the players have gotten signed to NFL contracts. So
oh yeah. I mean, they got talent over there, and they had a good game over there. I liked it. I enjoyed it. It was a good product. So I'm kind of it's funny because you see all these little doors and these little windows open for them to try to bring the XFL back, but you guys don't get it twisted. It shit's done. Even though they've filed properly. And they could technically, bring back the XFL down the road. It is done. There's no way there's no way Vince could do it again if he wanted to.
No.
Not the way he's hemorrhaging money.
Does the NFL think about starting a spring league again for like a minor league,
I'd love for them to do a G League type thing. I don't know that they're going to. They showed very little. The NFL Europe was like a failed fucking money dump fucking shitstorm. So I don't think the NFL wants to go through that again. I don't believe they don't mind. They wouldn't mind, working with another entity as far as co-promoting and kind of co-branding as far as kind of filtering shit through there as a minor leagues. I think they would work with somebody, but I just don't think they have any interest in doing it on their own, because when they bought, the Euro League and made it NFL Europe, it just hemorrhaged money. It was just, it was like, it's like a bloody sphincter. It was terrible.
So also, too, in the NFL, on ESPN, Monday Night Football, basically, they're going to have a whole new crew.
Well, they finally got Booger out of the fucking tree blind, and that's about fucking goddamn time. We've only been bitching about it.
Him and Tessitore are no longer there. So
we've only been bitching like every fucking week since they fucking took the goddamn airwaves. Jesus Christ. Woohoo, wow. You guys are so in tune with your fan base, you fucks.
With that jacked up finger.
Oh my God, that finger is terrible, man.
Now, who are they going to bring? I mean, again, because obviously they're not going to spend the money. I mean, the fans are all screaming like, just give either Tirico or Rich Eisen the money.
Yeah, they'll get one of them in there. I think Tirico's going to end up doing it.
I mean, NBC got him because he's going to be doing everything.
Yeah.
They got him basically because he's going to be running the Olympics.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think he's going under, because how many more years has Michael's got it?
Yeah. See, is that Sunday, right? That's Monday night, right? We're talking about Monday night.
Monday night.
So that's ESPN.
Yeah, because Al Michaels
so,
is probably going to do what, 2 more years, and Tirico's probably going to step in as the play-by-play because he's doing the Bob Costas studio show.
Well, that's the Sunday night game.
Yeah, Sunday night game. He's not going to back to ESPN.
No, he's not going back to ESPN.
And I don't think Rich Eisen's going to go back to ESPN.
No, he's not. No, he's not. They're going to bring in somebody new. I just don't know what they're going to do.
I don't know. They've been talking about on there is, and again, Orlowski as a commentator, and I'm like, dude, I don't know. I mean, Brian Greasy. I mean, he's doing all right with college, but you know what? No, they've got to make a splash.
Yeah, I don't know who.
I don't know who they can get.
I don't know who they're going to get.
Because again, they already tried Romo, and he said no.
Yeah,
he re-signed up by buku money for CBS, and it's a better gig.
Yeah.
Peyton's like, no, I'm not coming.
Well, this is what happens when you fuck your talent over.
We're gonna end up with Stephen A. Smith in the damn booth.
Oh my fucking god! No way, no fucking way. God damn, fuck that. I'd rather have Golick and Wingo in the fucking booth. I'd rather listen to Golick and Wingo. Them fucking idiots. And that show's a garbage too. How the fuck? Put some goddamn effort in that motherfucking show you got. Where the fucking
they are showing no effort whatsoever.
That is the laziest fuck of a show.
Working from home. I mean, they
oh
don't
my
care.
god, that's the laziest fuck show. Does anybody even produce that motherfucker? Not only can you not get a fucking camera in there, you fucking clowns can't even put graphics up to fucking tell me what the fuck you're talking about.
Right.
Or who you're talking to. Nothing. There's not a fucking thing. That is the laziest fucking piece of fuck show on the radio / television.
Yeah.
That shit is garbage. Fuck, they're not even trying anymore.
No.
Fuck out of here, man. God, that stuff's terrible.
Everything on ESPN right now is just terrible.
It is. It's horseshit.
I can't watch anything.
I feel bad for
except
Scott
for
Van
The
Pelt.
Last Dance because I can't watch any of it.
I feel bad for Scott Van Pelt. Maybe they should make him the guy.
See, he's not a play-by-play
He's
guy.
not. He's not a play-by-play guy, but fuck.
He's probably going,
put him in the studio for Monday night and then bump somebody out there. I don't fucking know. I don't know. It's a diaper fest over there because they've shit on all their talent. So nobody wants to fucking work.
Remember, because Rich Eisen left them because he wanted to do play-by-play.
Everybody left because they fucking won't work with you. Everybody.
So that's why
the only reason Stuart Scott didn't leave is because he fucking died.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I fucking went there. Send your hate mail to IDon'tGiveAfuck.com at eatmyasshole.net because I don't give a shit. Fuck.
Yeah.
Anyway. So, yeah, I don't know what they're going to do. Whatever. They probably will have time because there probably won't be fucking football. I mean, I just don't know. I would love to say that they're going to do this, but I just don't see how. I don't know. We're going to get sports. It's going to come back. People are going to go fucking nuts for it. We all fucking want it. They want to be a part of it. The athletes want to perform. The TV, everybody wants it. There isn't a single soul on this fucking planet that doesn't want it. It's just we got to be smart about this shit.
Yes.
And so I just don't know how being smart, I can't reconcile being smart about this and having a football season. I just can't reconcile the two. I don't know why. No matter what, the more information we get, the further we get into this, the more and more it just seems like that's not. And that's been the trend, right? You know, the more information we're getting, the more and more we're realizing that, you know, we kind of have pipe dreams here in some cases. And I don't know that isn't going to be the case with just sports in general. I really hope this UFC thing works, man. I really hope that they don't have any more issues and that they can continue to put on fights and do what they do, because I think that will open up the doors for what I think should be next season.
Right.
I know you guys don't want to hear that shit, and that shit's horrible. And I don't even like saying it, but I'm trying to be the realest motherfucker in the room right now. I'm sick of fucking, let's, put on, fluffy fucking butterfly tails and all this other bull. No, none of that. There's no There's no rainbows and unicorns. Now we're gonna have fun and be lighthearted and goof around, but you know what? When it comes to this and getting it, I just don't see how they're gonna do it. So now, all that said, everything that we've talked about today goes down the shitter if they can actually get these fucking tests and vaccines in a timely fashion. But I feel like we need a vaccine before you can just start putting people in danger. Testing isn't enough. Right. Trace testing helps us to open the economy, but not to put things in crazy areas like that. I'm gonna kind of go on a little rant here to people because everybody's feeling this thing. Okay. Everybody is a part of this lockdown. I know people are getting freaked out and they're losing their fucking mind and the anxiety's too much and they burst at the seams and they want to run out and do stuff and they're in the minute something opens, they're going to go there and this, that, and the other thing, dude. I'm going to tell you, it's not we've all going to go through it. And as much as I could sit here and bitch about all the shit, okay, dude, it's simple. You want a bitch fest? Here's a fucking bitch fest. We've been locked down for 2 fucking months, okay? 8 weeks of not fucking leaving the house, okay? I'm following all the stupid, dumb fucking rules that they want me to follow. I have literally had the same full tank of gas in my truck for 8 fucking weeks. I'm not kidding. 8 fucking weeks. Okay, I have not seen my friends. I have not seen my fucking family. I lost my grandma. I lost the guy that I did some charity work with. I lost a friend of mine. And fucking Monday, I put my fucking dog down. And then my day job, who's a company who does $100 million annually, just let us all know that now they're going to be they're only bringing back half of the workforce. So half of everybody I know is fucking unemployed. And I'm 2 weeks from finding out if I'm one of them. So we're talking about in 2 months, lost friends, family members, jobs, dogs, everything, bank accounts, everything, all gone. Poof. 25 years of busting my ass is gone in 8 fucking weeks. And you motherfuckers are out here bitching about the pettiest goddamn shit I've ever motherfucking seen. Fuck all you motherfuckers, because guess what I still do? I still get up and bust my ass every day. We still come out and entertain. We still have fun. We still live our life, and we still love our people, and we fucking act like it. You motherfuckers don't. There's a shit ton of you fucking piece of shit ass fucking turd human beings that are still trolling motherfuckers, talking shit, acting like an asshole, and being selfish, self-centered fucking idiots. Well, guess what got us in this fucking mess? Selfish, self-centered idiots. So go ahead and do what you fucking do, but guess what? If we get locked down longer and we can't go any out and we fucking deal with more and more pain, it's going to be on you, motherfucker, because you did that shit. We all fucking followed the rules and you thought it was fucking cute to do shit your fucking way. Now we're all going to fucking pay. Now back in my fucking day, when a motherfucker made you fucking do push-ups and a motherfucker made you do fucking laps, dude, you would be lucky not to get a fucking bar of soap and a sock kind of fucking treatment. And that's a fucking fact, homie. I don't care if we're fucking teammates or not. If you do something that fucks up so you wonder why people get all fucking mad when you act like a fucking clown. It's that same fucking mentality. If you were on the fucking practice field and I was being lazy and made you have to walk the mile and you do fucking suicides and you do fucking push-ups because I'm fucking lazy and I'm fucking Gomer piling in the corner with a donut in my fucking face hole, you're going to be one pissed off motherfucker. And that's what you're doing to people out here when you act like that. Everybody's been through this shit. I told you, I'm 2 weeks from losing everything. House, job, grandma, friends, coworkers, people I would do charity with, fucking my bank account, fucking everything gone. Even my fucking dog. Like, fuck, it's a country song, motherfucker. I'm living a fucking country song. And guess what? I'm nothing compared to the pain that other motherfuckers are dealing with. The shit that it's nothing. What I'm going through is it's life. It's life, motherfucker. It's life. But don't make shit harder on other people. Understand what the fuck's going on. Have a little compassion and stop being so motherfucking selfish. That's what started all this shit. because people are too fucking selfish and too worried about what it would look like for them. So no one told anybody anything. And then this shit gets out everywhere. And you want to play this off and you want to do that and you want to do things your own way. And everything's about you. And that's why we're in this fucking mess, dude. Stop with the selfish shit. Stop with all of it. Instead of being about you, put that energy into being about the guy across from you. And if he fucking returns that shit, we'll all be good. But if we keep doing this me shit, this is just going to get worse and worse and worse. It ain't going to get better. It's going to get fucking worse. And then the last thing you're going to be fucking worried about is whether sports is going to be on fucking TV. Because you're going to want to know if your fucking 1986 fucking K-body truck starts up because you got a fucking riot of motherfuckers coming to steal your fucking fuel, food, whatever you fucking got. Because this shit's going to be mad motherfucking max if y'all don't fucking get it together. I'm just sick of the selfish shit. We come, and there's so many people that are selfless. And it's getting lost in your selfishness. People out there putting their families and themselves at risk to help your fucking ignorant ass. Unbelievable. So I don't go into that shit. We don't do that on this show, but I just fucking did it. I just called all you whiny bitches out. You want to be like that? I don't even care. Take your miserable fucking ass somewhere else. You don't have to listen. Seriously.
Oh, yeah. I mean, agree with you 1,000% on this one.
It's just one of those fucking things, man.
I'm with you. I mean, I've said the same thing over and over and over again. I've had enough.
Well, and it's one of those things, Moose. We do it here, right? We joke. But everybody has it, right? We all live life. So when we come on the show, in a normal situation, we obviously don't like lay our lives out there. This is what we do. We come here to get away from the bullshit. And we have the show and we have the conversation. We have all these great listeners and we do all this cool, fun stuff because that's what we like to do. And it's a release and it gets us away. But then like and it's the same reason why people do a lot of other things. But now you have no escape and people can't escape. And then people are being even more vindictive and shitty and worse about it. And it's like, and not understanding and seeing from other people's point of view. And we'd come on here on the show and we'd take you away from that land and we'd always tell you guys, what do we always say when we leave here, man? Be good to each other, take care of each other, all that kind of stuff, that positivity. And, this is one of those things where like, I've asked you motherfuckers nicely. Now I'm fucking telling you, okay? Fucking stop being fucking assholes to each other. Fucking goddamn it. Be good. No matter how much it fucking hurts. Think about the next fucking guy. Be good to the fucking next guy. Set a fucking example for your fucking kids. Because guess what? Your selfish little shit fucking behaviors are going to come back to bite you when you're in fucking hospice.
That's right. We're going to have a serious disagreement with you one day.
And
you're not going to want me to say that. For real. But yeah, again, be safe out there, guys.
Yes.
Again, we really want you to be back next week and everything
right.
with it.
Yeah,
and again,
this is all hyperbole, guys. It's just kind of my point is like, just understand when things aren't going your way and things are bad, don't take that out on everybody else. Don't add to it. Take away from that negativity. Don't add to it. That's all I'm getting at.
Be kind.
Be kind to others. Be supportive. Be understanding.
Help out.
Yeah. Be understanding. People are scared to death of this shit.
Yeah.
And we're, just look out for each other. Because if you don't, nobody else will. And that's what this kind of comes down to. And I know it's a rant, and you guys know it's me being goof, but it's a shoot too. There's truth in that. We've all been through some shit. Everything I told you, I didn't come in here crying about it, but that's all stuff that I've been through. Just me, and that ain't nothing. Like people that I'm around have been through so much more, and that's what I concentrate on is what I can do to help them and keep things positive for them, and not be. And that's what we all need to be doing. And then this thing will work out, and it'll work itself out.
We'll get through it all, but we're going to get through it all together.
Absolutely.
In the meantime, peace out, brothers, and we'll see you next week.
Be good to each other.
You're listening to Studio 57 Radio, your home for underground hip-hop, rap, and R&B. Studio 57 Radio.